Okay, everybody. So to begin class this evening, we'll have a little discussion. Why didn't most people in healthcare know about this company? So what everybody wrote about, and I'm sorry I told everybody I would get you writing with comments back. There are 4 people I still haven't returned writing with comments back. I tried my best, but I was a little busy over the past 4 days. Um, We'll discuss why didn't most people in healthcare know about Change Healthcare, which was hit by the cyber attack. Then we'll use a remote access tool to go over the last NGen assignment, and that's the assignment titled Grading with AI. Teachers are now grading with AI. We'll go over that. Then if there's anything to discuss with that, we'll discuss. Then we'll review the vocabulary from part 1 of the story that we read, just to have a nice refresher. And we'll keep things moving by discussing the protagonist, the main character of the story, Christine Meyer. So we'll have a little discussion about her situation, and I'll put you into breakout rooms for that. Then we will finish up the class by listening and reading the second, listening to and reading the second half of the story of the cyber attack that rocked healthcare. And then I'll show you a writing exercise, which is known as paraphrasing. We're going to take one small part of that story and practice paraphrasing that, which is putting something into your own words. So, a lot to do tonight. Let's get started. So the question I'm beginning to start class is this. At the beginning of the story that we all read, Christine Meyer almost lost her business because Change Healthcare, this bill processing company, was hit by a cyber attack and had to go offline. And until that happened, she had never heard of the company before. And that's one interesting part of the story that I think is a bit overlooked. Just about everybody who works in healthcare in America a couple of weeks ago was affected by this cyber attack. But without the cyber attack, most people, doctors, secretaries, from everyone from the guy sweeping the hallway at a hospital had generally never heard of this company. I'm giving you a hint with this slide. Who could tell me why most people in healthcare had never heard of this company before the cyber attack? And I'll write that down on the top. Why is it that most people working in healthcare in America never heard of this company before the cyber attack? So there's a question I'll throw out there, and you can use your hand raising emoji if you want to give it a shot. So why is it most people working in healthcare didn't know this company even existed, that we now know depended so much upon? Take a minute and process the question. And I'll underline it so you can see it a little easier. Eudelis, go for it.
Hi. Well, I think it's because they was working well with insurance, claim the payments, and they have a nice cash flow. So
Okay.
they don't need that company.
All right. And I'll put more. Eudelis is giving us a great place to start. So they, as in the healthcare professionals, let's say a doctor sees a patient, the doctor prescribes medication or calls for a surgery or some procedure, and then the doctor just signs off on the procedure or the medication and then sends it to the insurance company for the bill and never thinks about how that works. Just here it is. I'm the doctor. I approve this procedure. Send it to your insurance. Bye bye. That's it. You never stop to think what's happening in between. Great, 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 great. Anyone else have something to add, or perhaps clarify what Udelis's point? It's very good the way Udelis said it. Has anyone ever heard this phrase before? Everybody read this, please, what I'm writing at the top of the screen. And I'm adding a check mark. Hiding in plain sight. That's an idiom. Who could tell me what that means? Hiding in plain sight. So if I hold this notebook in front of my face, I'm hiding. What does it mean, hiding in plain sight? Eddie.
I think hiding in plain sight when a people or something is in background, is not in front line.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. So it's
Uh,
there. We don't
mhm,
necessarily pay attention to it.
okay.
Um, I'm going to give everyone else, everyone an example of a company that is very often in America and around the world hiding in plain sight. I'm going to send this name to everyone right now. Here we go. Tell me what. Okay. Okay, I just texted everyone a name of a company that's also hiding in plain sight. Oh, hold on a second. I spelled it wrong. I spelled it wrong. There it is. I spelled it wrong. All right, there it is. Do a quick search for this company and tell me who they are and what they do. I can see some faces. Eddie is searching. Ronaire is searching. Vanessa, you're on your phone, so you'll have to leave the Zoom app to do the search. It's a little trickier for you. I can see the expression changing on Johanna's face, so I know she's searching. Same thing with Sandy. William's doing a quick search. Isalino just came into class. Welcome, welcome. All right, who can tell me what this company is, who they are, and what they do? I'll even send you their website.
The organization is into business well-being, personal care, home care, nutrition, and ice cream. So
Exactly. Thank
it's
you,
a
sir.
commercial. It's providing the commercial product for daily use.
Exactly. Exactly. So they distribute commercial products at stores. And I just sent the website. We can just start naming brands. This is not a commercial if anybody's watching. If anybody is not here in this class today and you're watching the recording, this is not a commercial for anything. I'm just proving a point to better understand the story. Everybody, I just sent you the website. When you open up their website, name a couple of these brands. Some of them are not popular in the US, but they are in other countries. So who can name a few of these popular brands that are part of this Unilever? All right, let's call it a consortium of whatnot. I don't even know if that's the right word. Sandy, I can tell you're scrolling right now. Can you name a few of these brands for us?
Say it again.
Can you name a few of these brands for us?
Uh, I can see Ben Jerry's,
Yep.
Dove, and Alma, Magnus.
You got it.
This is ice cream.
Yeah, you got it. So basically, just about anything and everything they own. If you can buy it at a supermarket, in most developed countries, this one company owns most of these products. Ben and Jerry's, which it was a big deal when they became a Unilever product about 10 years ago, because they were started as a small company in New
Yeah.
England. And then CIF, Close Up, Comfort, Cornetto, Domestos, that's a bleach company, Dove chocolate,
Dove is all.
Liquid IV, Magnum chocolate, OMO. So some of these are cleaning products, some of these are food products. Toothpaste, just about anything you buy at a supermarket is actually owned by this other company. Now, the reason I'm using Unilever as an example, what if Unilever could not work because they got hit by a cyber attack? This is a hypothetical. It means it's not real. It's not actually happening. But what if something happened to this one company that owns so many popular brands that you buy or that we see on store shelves, and they were not able to operate? What if Unilever suddenly could not operate? What would happen?
It could happen a disaster, teacher,
Yeah.
because
That's
because if Unilever put products in every store in more than 100 of countries in all the world,
Mhm.
in all around the world, the operation stopped. So the store for a while, not too long time, will be empty.
Yes,
So for people to get food and all these products will won't find this product, so it could be a disaster.
you
That's
got it. You got it. Yeah.
yeah, and that's something similar what happened with the example with
Change health.
yes, because this company change change, okay, it's
Mhm.
not in phase, but it's all because doctors and pharmacies, hospitals, everybody depends on this company. So that's what happened with the cyber attack. What
Alizar, perfect. You get an A for tonight. Yes. So Alizar figured out exactly why I was giving Unilever as an example. So for people who just joined us, the question I put here where I'm drawing an arrow to, why is it that most people working in healthcare in America had never heard of this company before the cyber attack? And the reason is because once a doctor approves a procedure and sends the bill to the insurance, that bill processing company is not something the doctor ever has to think about. The doctor uses it every single day, but doesn't even know it exists. If you go to a supermarket, almost every single product on the shelf is a Unilever product. They own most of the brands that we see, not just in this country, but most developed countries around the world, from toothpaste to cleaning products to food products, apart from, your locally grown sourced vegetables. Just about everything you purchase is a Unilever product. If it comes in a box, it's a Unilever product. So who could explain this idiom that I put here in the middle, hiding in plain sight? Eddie explained the gist of it, but I think now that Alizar gave us a more concrete definition, what does it mean to hide in plain sight? Unilever is hiding in plain sight. No matter what supermarket we go to, anywhere in the world, Unilever is there, but it's hiding in plain sight. When we go to the doctor, Change Healthcare is there, but it's hiding in plain sight. What exactly does that mean?
It is in front of us, but it is unnoticed. We are not noticing it.
Exactly. It's right there. It's operating every moment of our lives, but we never notice it. And we have no reason to notice it. The cashier scanning your toothpaste at the supermarket might not know the name Unilever, even though it's written in very small letters on everything we buy. It'll say Unilever. But there's no reason for any, like the manager at the supermarket may never have heard of that company before. But it's operating. That's the company that is distributing all of our products that we buy in supermarkets. And we never even think about it. So doctors like Christine Meyer may never have known that Change Healthcare is the company processing insurance claims, but they use the company all the time. So that's why it's hiding in plain sight. And an example of hiding in plain sight, I actually gave you the answer to the question I posed right here. Who knows what I mean? Who can tell me what the slide says right here? And I put a title right at the top.
Teacher, when a company is B2B, is a company that doesn't have contact with the public, with people,
Exactly.
just with is related with other company. This is B2B and B2C, I don't know.
Well, take a look at the symbol right here. B2B, the symbol of the
Uh-huh.
briefcase, it means one business to another business.
Okay.
So Unilever is a B2B.
Yes.
The Stop and Shop might do business with Unilever.
Teacher, I
But-
think that B2C is when the product the product is in the store, and B2B is when it's ambulatory or something like this.
You're onto something. Well, William, think about what the shopping cart represents. Who is, if it's a B2C, it's not business to business, but business to the customer.
To
of the-
client.
Yeah.
To client.
Oh,
To
business to
customer.
customer.
Directly to the client.
Okay.
So it's,
Good.
yep. So essentially, like, let's say we're selling cars. The car salesman on the lot is operating B2C, presenting the vehicle to the buyer. Here is the product. Do you want to buy this car? But the engine manufacturer may sell a particular type of nut or type of screw that goes into the engine, some part of a piece of the car that the customer may not be aware of. That's more like a B2B. So it's something that it's from the business to business. So like sometimes, let's say if you go to a hotel, something like a 5-star hotel, sometimes there might be a particular type of ice cream that is only sold to 5-star restaurants that will never, be in an ice cream truck in the street. It's a B2B business. So B2B means ordinary people who spend their money may never hear of it because it's not marketed to them. It's a business marketed to other businesses. And that's actually an easy way to remember it. A B2B, it's like just a business to another business. Ordinary people on the street have no reason to know it exists. And that's what Change Healthcare is. But we know now what Change Healthcare is because they were hit by a cyber attack and nearly crippled the US health system for a couple of weeks. So let's take a look at that vocabulary that we learned. Actually, let's go back to the vocab. All right. So let's just practice using the hand raising emoji right now. For a few people, I think, who need a little practice with it, everybody go to your reactions feature and do this for me. Use the hand raising emoji. Good job, Vanessa. And everyone at home, you have no excuse because Vanessa's sitting on the red line, I believe. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. And now you can move your hands down. There you go. Lower your hand. Good, good, good. Okay. So I will give you a definition of one of these vocab words and use the hand raising emoji if you've got it. A malware hackers use to extort money. A malware hackers use to extort money. Vanessa.
Cyber attack.
No, but nice, good guess. A malware hackers use to extort money. Udelis. Oh, you're muted.
Ransomware.
Correct. Ransomware. Very good. So you think of the word ransom, we usually think of ransom as in like human trafficking. Somebody is kidnapped, a human being is taken, and they're not going to be given back without money. So in this case, it's data. So somebody breaks into your computer, holds all your files. Somebody breaks into your phone, holds your phone, and says, I'm not giving you back your phone until you give me this money. And that's holding it ransom. So it is a type of cyber attack, but it's specific. It's grabbing hold of your information, refusing to give it back without payment. Ransomware. All right, good job. And that's Udelis. Let me actually type that. It's faster. Udelis, okay. How insurance companies are billed. How insurance companies are billed. William.
It's payroll.
Oh, good guess, good guess. But think of it as a bill like paying a debt, not debt, paying a fee of some sort.
All right, sorry.
That's okay, but you're really close. You're really, really close. How insurance companies, or how about this? How insurance companies are invoiced.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, go for it, William. I knew you'd get it.
Submit claim.
Correct, William. Nice job. Submit claims. I think Eddie was coming in to take it. You got it, William. All right. Okay. Okay, this one is too easy, but I'll give it to you anyway. I can't think of another way to say this without using the word itself. Okay, receiving a message on the Slack application. Vanessa. Slacked, correct. And Slack is a leading business platform for a lot of US companies these days. By the way, I mentioned I introduced Slack as like a platform for a lot of US businesses. Is it popular in other parts of the world now? The companies use Slack, and I'm just going to survey. I mean, I know most of you are living in America now, so maybe you don't know, but whatever is going on in other countries. But has Slack become popular elsewhere?
No, in India, we are used to Teams actually. We use an application called Teams. So that is what we
MSN
use.
Teams?
Teams,
Microsoft
yeah.
Teams?
Microsoft
okay.
Teams.
That's popular in the US too, Teams. But in India, people aren't using Slack that much.
Yeah. In our organization, we use with this Teams like rather than the Slack. I'm hearing this when you told me. So this is the first time I'm hearing about this application. I don't know.
You know, it makes sense because in India, most people already use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Am I right? It's
Yes.
almost the same.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of like the interface and how it's used, it's basically the same thing as having a WhatsApp.
Okay.
But what I noticed is that because I think America is one of the few places where everyone is not using WhatsApp.
Okay.
So Slack has like a little bit of a void to fill. It's because Americans aren't using WhatsApp that much, which is ironic because it's owned by Meta. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway. But of course, at El Centro, we use WhatsApp all the time because our clients are mostly not American. Mostly. Unimaginable. Vanessa again. Wow, you're really fast, Vanessa.
Sorry, I don't know how
You're
say
saying
that.
it. I just slow down the pronunciation. Unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Correct. That's correct. Unthinkable is a synonym of unimaginable. Yes. Good job, Vanessa. All right. Okay. Ability to convert into cash. Ability to, Eudelis.
Liquidity.
Liquidity. And
Liquidity.
Blessing, I'm almost copying you word for word. So I'm really just stealing
Liquidity.
Blessing's definition because she said it so precisely last week. Thank you, Blessing. Yes, Eudelis. All right. Next up. Okay. A loan based on a prepaid amount of mortgage.
Payroll.
Nice try, but remember to raise your hand. That's not correct. A loan, let me say, a loan against property. Okay, Eudelis.
Home equity.
Yes, home equity. There you go. There you go. Good, good, good. Yes. And this also, in casual terms, a lot of Americans might say a lien on your house. If you have paid off a certain amount of property, and then you want to take out a loan against the property you've already paid for. So if you don't 100% own the property, but you've paid off some of it and you want to get a loan against that amount, that's called a home equity loan. Let's see, Eudelis, here we go. All right. A large amount, a majority fraction, Eddie. Oh, you're, I can see you saying the word, Eddie, but you're muted. I can see you saying
Huge swath.
correct. Huge swath. Yeah, huge swath. All right. 1,000 gigabytes. Saranya. Oh, you're muted, Saranya.
Sorry. Terabytes.
Correct. All right. The world's first known cryptocurrency. This should be easy. Blessing.
Bitcoin.
Correct. Blessing. All right. I just realized this word was actually used in a previous lesson a few months ago, so it might be in the back of everyone's mind. Property taken. Property taken. Blessing.
Seized.
Correct. Blessing. Nice. I just realized that the Carlos and Hennessy's story we read a long time ago was also the word seized was used. There we go. Okay. Cash flow of a business. Cash flow of a business.
Payroll.
Ronaire, where is your hand raising emoji, my friend? Okay, you got it. About 18 people guessed payroll for other words, but that is the correct word. Okay. All right. To temporarily lay someone off. Saranya.
Furlough.
Correct. Furlough. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 more words. I think we could. Time consuming, that means taking up a lot of time. Systemically, it means embedded into a into a procedure. Deleterious, it's an irregular word that means to involved in everything. And then cyber attack is the story that we are looking at here. So let's keep it moving. Yes, we're making good time. All right, let's have a little discussion. All right, this is the second vocabulary list for the second part of the story, but I'm not going to show it to you now. Let's take a moment to discuss the protagonist of the story, Christine Meyer. Oops, I just realized I had some of your writing up there. There we go. All right, so in the story, Christine Meyer nearly loses her healthcare business because of this cyber attack a few weeks ago on Change Healthcare, a billing company. So in this story, Christine has no idea how she's going to continue to pay her staff and how she's going to help her patients process their claims. And she almost loses her clinic because of this cyber attack. So when we look at, that's the end of the story that we're going to look at in a moment. If we look at one of the quotes from Christine Meyer, the doctor, let's try to look at her perspective exactly and what the decision she has to make right here. Okay, it's right about, there we are. She says, so we started creating this hodgepodge. That means a mix of different things, hodgepodge of systems, just to push claims out the door. That means finding alternative ways to submit claims to insurance companies. None of it was easy. All of it was tremendously time consuming. I think my billing manager, Sue, told me that it was taking 10 times as long to submit claims as it was before Change Healthcare went down. 10 times as long. Some insurances would only accept paper claims, so everybody started to take work home. My mom actually works in my billing department. She was one employee I had when I started. She's 79 years old and she has my back. She has our back. Nobody does like your mom, right? Here's this 79-year-old dragging boxes of paper home to try to get these claims out as fast as possible. So if we look at this ridiculous situation, hang on one second, Johanna. If we look at this ridiculous situation right here, let's discuss this in breakout rooms. What would you do in Christine Meyer's situation? Because she's got a lot going on. She's a healthcare provider. She's got a clinic for a lot of people in her community. She employs multiple people. So you've got, when people are sick in that town, they go to her clinic. She's got a few dozen employees. It's not like a major hospital with hundreds of employees, but she's got people around her who depend on her for their livelihoods to make their money. And she almost loses everything. She has no cash coming in these insurance companies to pay her staff to keep her clinic operating. What exactly, if you were Christine Meyer in this situation, what would you do? Because she's got a lot of tough decisions. I mean, she could just say, she could just stop everything for a few weeks. Sorry, I clinic is closed. I can't pay anyone. Nothing I can do. But if she did that, all the people in her town would have nowhere to go to the doctor, or they'd have to go to surrounding towns, to the local hospital, wherever. And all the people she's worked with for years suddenly couldn't pay their bills. So she's got a really, really tough decision. So that's what I'm going to send everyone into breakout rooms to think about. If you were in Christine Meyer's situation, what would you do? So, yes, Johanna, what do you think? What's your question?
Teacher,
Yes, Johanna, what's your question?
sorry, I pushed. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that was an
Am I
accident, no worries.
good?
I thought so. Okay. All right, everybody. So I'm going to send you into breakout rooms. So the question is, if you were Christine Meyer in that situation, what would you do? I'm going to send you all into 3 breakout rooms. Here we go. Okay, join your breakout rooms now. Again. Okay, and as I always ask, when we're at this halfway point, do you want to go straight through and skip the break, or I see people nodding their heads, or if you need a break, we can take a 10-minute break right now. Does anybody need a 10-minute break?
Let's
Dallas
go
is like,
through.
okay,
Let's
all right,
go
okay.
through.
All right, okay, I love it. William saying no, 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 no. Okay, I love it. Okay. All right, so let's keep it moving. We'll skip the break and just plow right ahead. So this is the second vocabulary list that I put together from the last part of the story to make it easier to understand. In education, we call this scaffolding. A lot of these are phrases, not just individual vocabulary words, but many of these are very common phrases we use in America. So I'll underline them, and you can just follow me with the pronunciation. Here we go. Okay, this one you heard a minute ago. Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
Literally.
Literally.
Bills to pay.
Bills to pay.
Line of credit.
Line of credit.
Cash reserves.
Cash reserves.
Home equity.
Equity.
Personal finances.
Personal finances.
Just hanging on to.
Just
hanging on
to.
Out of control.
Out of
Control.
Parent company.
Parent
Company.
In a bind.
In a bind.
Antitrust.
Antitrust.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Ferocity.
Ferocity.
Very good, very good. Okay. So a hodgepodge is a mix of different things. It describes how she processed claims to insurance companies, and they tried a number of different ways. They tried to do it the old-fashioned way on paper, using very different ways, because they suddenly, okay, Renee, I gotta mute you. They couldn't use their traditional way to process insurance claims. They had to find different ways to do it. So for one company, maybe it was a phone call. One company was maybe it was an old fax machine. One company this, one company that. They had to try a hodgepodge. It's just a mix, a very eclectic way to get something done. Who could tell me what is, I'll put a check mark on these. Who could tell me what is literal, literally? It's the opposite of figurative. Alizar.
Exactly.
Precisely.
Precisely. Okay. Yeah.
Can you give me an example of being literal?
An example. Oh, literally, it could be when something we are describing some situation, and it's incredible or it's not real, and we are telling, oh, literally has occurred that like that. I don't know.
I'm
See,
gonna
for example,
Yep.
teacher,
Mhm.
I am reminded right now the words the gospel today.
Mhm.
Literally, the Lord say, "You never are alone. Always I am with you." Say the Lord. For example,
Mhm. You're getting closer, very close. I'm gonna use an example right now. I'm gonna give you two things. Hold on a second. One is literal and one is figurative. Here we go. Okay. One is literal, one is figurative. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. All right. Everybody, I'm sending you a popular song. I'm sending you a popular song. Mhm. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm not going to give you the actual video of this because it's very graphic, but I'll just send you the Wikipedia page. One is they're the same topic. One is literal and one is figurative. Tell me which one is literal and which one is figurative.
Figurative is the first example. Alicia Keys,
Yes.
Girl on Fire.
Yes. Exactly.
And the second one, Thick One Duke, is an example of literally.
Exactly. Exactly. So I like to use
literally,
popular songs of like poetry or something like that, or music to describe figurative language. So figurative means, okay, a popular song, Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire. It doesn't mean she's literally on fire. Literally on fire is this historical figure, Thich Quang Duc, who actually lit himself on fire in the middle of a town to protest his government. That's literally one. So literally, this person literally lit themselves on fire. Figuratively, this girl is on fire. It means she's amazing. Difference between literal and figurative language. Literally means it's actually happening.
literally.
Literally. It's literally happening. Joel.
Yeah, teacher, literally, it's the thing is supposed to be true, right?
Not only true, but actual and precise.
Evento.
In this context, yes. Like I'll give you an example. I get mad. I'm driving and somebody cuts me off in front of me, and I get mad and I say, I want to kill that guy. I'm not literally that mad. I'm figuratively that mad. In that split second, I might be a little bit angry. I'm not actually going to go and kill a person. That's kind of like figurative is like an exaggeration of language, where literal is not only true, but it's precise. So
Literally.
that's the difference between literal and figurative.
Okay, surprising, exaggerate.
Exactly. Well, figurative would be the exaggeration, and almost it's a creative exaggeration of language, whereas literal is it's an exact, precise definition of language.
Got
No, good question. Good question. Now here's a phrase that's probably easy. Bills to pay. Everybody can understand that, right?
Teacher, I have a question. What
Yes.
is the difference between bills to pay and invoice?
In a singular invoice is the bill itself. A bill and an invoice, a bill is synonymous with an invoice.
Okay.
Invoice the
That's a
paper,
great
right?
question. Yeah, it's synonymous. It could be paper, it could be a soft copy, like a digital copy. You could get emailed an invoice as well. You can send if anybody here uses Venmo has a feature for invoicing. Let me take a look at Venmo here. Yes, you can actually invoice people. Yeah, if it doesn't say invoice, but it says request, the request of payment. That's the invoice. So it doesn't use the word invoice, but it is a request of payment. That's the invoice. Let's see. Here we go. Line of credit. Who could explain a line of credit? Udelis.
Score credit?
Close. Udelis, what are you thinking?
Line of credit is a credit that the bank gives to you and is the same like a credit card, but the less interest rate.
It actually could be any interest rate, but it's essentially how much you're worth in terms of your credit. So those of you, if you have a credit card, it's how much you could possibly charge on that card.
Limit of credit?
Okay.
Right. Let's say your credit, if you have
Limits.
you've been issued a credit card, and before you max out that credit card, there's a line of credit. If it's $500 or $2,000 or $6,000, that is the line. How much you could possibly charge on that, and then pay back.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually, it could be the interest could be anything. But the phrase line of credit is the amount of credit you have.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Whatever you are, it's essentially, think about the amount you are borrowing to pay back in the future. You're borrowing from the future, whatever you could be paying back in the future. Let's see. Cash reserves. What are cash reserves?
Save money for some occasion special?
Think about the definition of liquidity. What is liquidity? And that would be really close to cash reserves. Blessing.
Available money.
I think cash reserve is like the money a company keeps to meet short-term emergencies. So like you reserve a particular money for emergency needs, to service emergencies.
Yes, exactly. Usually that is what it is. It's essentially it's readily available cash. Cash that is right there for whatever particular reason. So remember last week we looked at the word assets. You might have assets, but if they are not liquid, you can't use those assets freely. So Christine Meyer could not pay her staff, and she didn't have enough cash reserves to pay her staff. So all these people working for her are expecting to get paid that week. She didn't have the money. She had to find the money somewhere. She didn't have the cash reserves. We just went over home equity. I don't think we need to go over that again. Personal finances, that's easy. It's her personal finances, not her business, but her life, her personal finances. And she and her husband were thinking about getting a home equity line of credit to pay her staff. This is a good one, just hanging on to. And you can kind of picture it like imagine somebody climbing a mountain, just hanging on. I'm doing this, pantomiming with my hands, just hanging on. What does that mean? What am I doing with just hanging on? Yeah, I thought this would be easier. Who could explain just hanging on? Blessing.
Holding it.
Or Saranya. What do you mean, Saranya?
No, I just told like holding it.
Not necessarily holding.
Teacher, it's like a stock and a stock.
Well, that's the word holding, but hanging on is something totally different.
Maybe when you have a control into your hands, like when you have something in your hands.
It's a little bit far from control. Just hanging on to means just survive.
Like keeping it.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, keeping it for a longer time, like keeping your hope for a longer time that you ordinarily would.
Well, actually, this is an idiom we use a lot in America. It means surviving. I'm just hanging on. Just managing. Just getting through the next day. It's so hard to keep going. We're just hanging on. We're just breaking even. We're just doing enough to make it through the day. That's just hanging on. So think of hanging on, imagine somebody climbing a mountain. If they're hanging on, they're not dead. If they slip, they're dead. Like a rock climbing. Think of that as an image, just hanging on. If they're still hanging on and they don't slip off, they're alive. Just hanging on. Okay. And this one's easy. Out of control. It means out of control. It means there's nothing you can do. Out of control. Parent company means one company owns another. In a bind. That's a good one. What is in a bind? Think of something to bind something. Well, oh, this is this notebook is
Main
bound.
company.
So in a bind mean this metal is binding this paper together. Joel, what does in a bind mean?
I think someone was difficult situation.
Yes, precisely. In a bind means stuck in a difficult situation. Exactly. I'm in a bind. I'm stuck in a difficult situation. And think of a spiral bound notebook, a binder of some kind. This word is used with office supplies, to be bound. Now here's
Teacher,
a tricky one.
I think my answer was for this one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're getting there. Now here's a tricky one. It's used at the very end of the story. Antitrust. Fidelis.
Maybe no confiable.
That's a
Like
good
when
one.
you
This is actually used a lot in history classes. So anybody else want to take a guess? I'm going to give you the answer in a moment. Antitrust is anti-monopoly. So antitrust, the word monopoly means a company that controls an entire market share of a particular service, and consumers have no choice. So we use monopoly today to describe this type of company, but an old-fashioned word for it is a trust. So 1900, there was a law passed in Congress called the Sherman Antitrust Act, creating anti-monopoly laws to regulate this. They're not always very well enforced, but they are laws, whether or not they are enforced. But that's the word trust. In this case, it's a monopoly. So at the very end, she says, I'm not an antitrust expert. She says, basically, she accuses this company of being a monopoly. And she says, I'm not an antitrust expert, but this looks like a monopoly. So the word trust is a synonym of monopoly. Tentacles. What are tentacles? If you like to cook, you might be able to figure this one out. I'm going to draw to show you this. Blessing, go for it.
I think for this, the cyber attack, where they mean tentacles, what I believe is exploring other options.
Close, but no. I'm drawing a picture.
part of the octopus.
Yes, exactly. I'm drawing really a squid, but yes, it's part of an octopus. So, tentacles are a part of an octopus. Now, Christine Meyer at the very end of the story uses figurative language and describes the company as having their tentacles everywhere. So the company is not literally an octopus. It is figuratively an octopus, but she says, everywhere you go, this one company seems to be all over the place. It's got their tentacles everywhere. And the word tentacle is a body part of an octopus. You got it. Do you like my picture? Thank you, everybody. Okay. Ferocity. It's a noun of the adjective ferocious.
Ferocity. It's like a fury.
Like passionate,
Wild.
excited ferocity.
Terrifying or wild.
Yeah. Aggressive, passionate, terrifying, that sort of thing. There you go. There we are. All right. So yes, now that we have this vocab out of the way, let's finish the story. And I'm going to show you one last quote from Christine Meyer for the next assignment. Here we go. Oh, Udelis, did you have another question? Okay, great. Here we go. So now we're going to, didn't mean to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop recording.